bit. We see in that pink from Duke and running about 6th place is Amina MAATOUG, so she is not backing down. And the rest of the Wolfpack is still within striking range.
MARKEZICH, your leader for Notre Dame. Tuohy of NC State second. And then another runner from Notre Dame, Siona CHISHOLM, in the number 3 spot, the sophomore from Nova Scotia. 6:25 for CHISHOLM. Tuohy with that same time. MARKEZICH a second faster. CHISHOLM this past summer was a double gold medal winner at the Bell Canadian Track and Field Championships held in Langley, British Columbia. That was the U20 division, and you don't see a double gold medal winner at those U20 championships too often, but that's what CHISHOLM was able to do. And an early factor here through the first 2K for the Fighting Irish. NC State, your leader, Notre Dame second, Virginia sitting third, and the Cavaliers with some talent for Vin Lanana when you look at Margot APPLETON, Mia BARNETT, the excellent mile runner, and then Camryn MENNINGER, the transfer from New York University.
Vin Lanana has told us that he has a very holistic approach towards cross country, and that at the end of the day, he's a track guy at heart. So he sees cross country as a season to get in great shape, set up a great track season later on. However, Virginia teams have run really well in cross country, so it's not like they're waving the white flag. If Virginia can run great today, they couldn't be a factor. Right now, though, the Notre Dame looks pretty good with 3 in the top 5. They're going to give State maybe a little more pressure than they were expecting, but I would think NC State still, actually Notre Dame there, yeah, 3 in the top 6. And then there's some Virginia runners there. I'd see maybe Virginia may be first in with their 5th man. Very interesting team races, a lot more competitive than we were expecting. Tuohy's right there. You think Tuohy probably has been the best runner in the country so far this year on the women's side, so she's probably within herself. And CHMIEL certainly can close the gap. And then we have Emma VAN DEN BERG from Florida State also in the mix. So you've got Tuohy, the 2 Notre Dame runners, CHMIEL, Emma VAN DEN BERG of Florida State, and Amina MAATOUG of Duke in your top 6.
For the first time, Katelyn TUOHY working her way into the lead spot, really parallel, shoulder to shoulder with Notre Dame. TUOHY won the Nutty Comb, the prestigious pre-tournament event, if you will, in the state of Wisconsin back on October 14th. In fact, it was TUOHY and CHMIEL who went 1-2 on that particular day.
And TUOHY also won the Notre Dame Invitational, so she is unbeaten this year in cross country. And just based on the way she looked at Wisconsin, it would be a real upset if Markezich could take it to her. But there's still a decent amount of running left. They haven't hit the 2 mile yet.
Katelyn TUOHY won the NCAA 5,000 meter championship this past spring. 2nd straight year that North Carolina State has won that particular event. And local media talking with TUOHY after it, and she said the NCAA team cross country championship was more surreal than the individual title. And that's the team aspect that a lot of fans don't realize go into cross country. As you take a look at the 3K splits, TUOHY and MARKEZICH shoulder to shoulder, CHMIEL and CHISHOLM the same story, and then VAN DEN BERG and MAATOUG of Duke at 9:42. But going back to TUOHY, it was not an easy NCAA championship for her last year. She actually fell in the race. The team had another runner, Hannah Steelman, who had a spider bite. It got infected. It was a real mess heading in, but they did not let that detour them with their possible run and eventual title at the NCAAs.
And I think that's just a testament to the incredible culture Laurie Hennis has built up at NC State over the years. You know, they have lots of people are all in and people who stay invested for a long time. We have a couple 6-year runners competing for them today. People on the Wolfpack team, the Wolfpack women, have done an incredible job. And it dates back even longer to the head coach Raleigh Geiger, who got the thing rolling many, many years ago and had runners like Joan Benoit Samuelson on the Wolfpack squad. You know, all she did is win a gold medal in the marathon in the Olympics. Lots of history in the NC State program.
Here comes Kelsey CHMIEL for the first time as they enter the back area for the second time down the steep slope. CHMIEL sitting third. Notre Dame, MARKEZICH right now your runner-up spot behind TUOHY. MARKEZICH finished 12th last year at these ACC championships. And it was so interesting, she came back, was an All-American at the NCAA. She placed 11th at Nationals.
Yeah, the Notre Dame coach, Matt Sparks, mentioned the fact that at Nationals last year, Notre Dame finished 9th and 11th. And because of TUOHY's fall, through their Notre Dame's first two runners, they had 20 points, and NC State had 21. So, you know, they were kind of the top two. The Notre Dame runners were the top two lowest combined scores in the NCAA meet. However, we score 5 in this thing, and we'll see. I'm anxious to get a team score update because we do see Notre Dame there with 3 in the top 6. But now that State is 1-2, that's got to help.
Kelsey CHMIEL, the senior from Sarasota Springs, New York, the defending ACC champion. Such good friends with a runner to her side, Katelyn TUOHY. Those two are so competitive, but the one area they're not competitive, Lori Henn has told us, is racing one another. They will battle in board games and cooking contests, baking contests among the Wolfpack team members, but on the race course, such good friends, build off each other, and really rely on one another.
They said it was a fantastic scene at Nuttycombe just 2 weeks ago when TUOHY ran a fantastic race. CHMIEL was second, but the PA announcer had mistakenly been calling an Oklahoma State runner instead, and all the Wolfpackers were saying, nope, nope, that's CHMIEL in second. And indeed, it was a 1-2 finish at you know, the biggest gathering of nationally ranked teams in the regular season, the Nuttycombe meet. And they're just pulling away now. I mean, this is over. It's either TUOHY or CHMIEL for the ACC title. Kind of how we thought it would go. But Notre Dame still hanging on to 3rd and 4th, and then they got their 3rd runner ahead of State's 3rd runner. So it'll be an interesting team battle. But the top two, it's over. These girls are too strong. They will continue to move away. MAATOUG has moved up as, you know, just the sophomore into 5th for Duke, living up to her potential, especially as a 2:03 half-miler. She's in that bright pink top that you can see coming around the corner, or maybe not. Our NC State runners are running so fast that the 5th place runner's out of the shot now. And actually, MAATOUG has just moved into 4th. So it's NC State 1 and 2, Notre Dame 3, MAATOUG 4th, and then Notre Dame 5th and 6th.
MAATOUG, the sophomore for Duke, 19 years old, young runner. She'll turn 20 in less than a month. But she arrived in Durham, one of the premier Dutch middle distance runners. U20 national cross country champion a year ago, also an 800-meter national champion, and having a pretty solid go at it. As you see her in the pink, sitting in the number 4 spot. Notre Dame 5 and 6. So the Fighting Irish right now 3rd, 5th, and 6th as they look to try to dent NC State's hopes of a 7th consecutive team title.
It's going to be interesting. Again, the team individual winners down to these two ladies up front, but what's going on in the 4th and 5th positions for NC State and the Fighting Irish? We'll try and get that information for you. They'll be coming up soon on the 5K mark, and that means it'll only be 1K to go. So we're getting towards the end of this race as they head back now towards the starting line one final time. They'll go behind the starting line and then head up for the final finish. And now TUOHY doing what everybody thought she'd do. Start to pull away for an ACC title in cross country. Remember, it was CHMIEL who won this race last year.
Lori Henn has talked about Katelyn TUOHY and her turning point, the indoor in 2022, where she was a runner-up in both the 3,000 and the 5,000 meters. Stony Point, New York, won 3 New York State cross-country championships, and she just keeps getting better and better in Raleigh. The 6-time All-American. She has all 3 covered, the indoor, the outdoor, and now here in cross-country as they go 1-2. NC State TUOHY, CHMIEL 2nd.
And they are just opening up lots of ground. They both look phenomenal. And here's the wider turn that they take. And as soon as they make this 180 here, they'll start the straightaway behind the start line. And then you're talking of only about 500 meters to go. There's the Notre Dame runner in third. And she's put a bunch of distance now on fourth and fifth as well. All right, we're going to get some splits for you back from 5K. There you see Tuohy at 16:06 at 5K.
Katie THRONSON into the mix for the first time, the Tennessee transfer.
Thornson's talented. She's run 5K in 15:58 and 4:39 in the mile, so she's got really good track credentials.
Tuohy in control, pulling away from her teammate CHMIEL as they'll enter this turn, and then they'll go into one more slopey, angular part of the track before they hit the straightaway in the final few meters for the finish. As NC State with a narrow lead on Notre Dame. A point separates the Wolfpack and the Irish.
Look at that. So it's going to come down to fourth and fifth runners for both teams. I knew it would be tight when you've got 1-2 for one team, but then the next team has their next three runners in. It's going to really tighten. Virginia's moved into third as well. The home team trying to come up with a third, and they should be able to pull that off with not much left on the race course. Tuohy going to win actually her first ACC cross-country title. Although she finished, what, 24th as a freshman in the NCAA.
Here's the downward trek that we described. Around the corner and into the final straightaway enters Katelyn TUOHY for North Carolina State. The Wolfpack looking for their third consecutive individual title. Last year it was CHMIEL, but this year, make no mistake about it, the drive of Katelyn TUOHY. She let the whole world know what she could do at Nuttycombe, and now here in the ACC Championship, she is going to bring home the title back to Raleigh.
Power personified up that hill, just driving her arms, lifting her knees, opening up her stride. There's this pole, 50 meters to go. And CHMIEL, a solid second. TUOHY about to win.
Katelyn TUOHY, the junior, steps away, looks up at the clock, in control the entire race, and she is your ACC champ. Across the line, Katelyn TUOHY. And now she'll immediately turn and watch one of her best friends come in second. Last year's champion, Kelsey CHMIEL, the silver medalist.
Now let's watch the other runners as they come in. We can try and figure out this team race. Notre Dame with third, and then we expect MAATOUG here in fourth.
Which is due. Keep in mind, a point separated NC State and Notre Dame at the 5K mark.
Oh, it looks like one of the, look at that. Look at that, Bush
Sam
rallying.
Bush.
That may win it for State. Bush coming from behind to grab fifth. Thornton sixth. MAATOUG? No.
Chisholm seventh. Notre Dame eighth. So the Fighting Irish able to go third, fifth, sixth, and seventh.
Yeah, the Bush rally may not be enough.
TUOHY first, CHMIEL second, Bush ends up eighth. Rauber 13th, QUARZO 15th for the Wolfpack. 39,000 meters, you win the Nuttycombe less than a month ago, and now you win the ACC Championship. What's your training been like over these past 6 months to bring these types of results?
Yeah, nothing really has changed. Just been working hard with my teammates. I think it's just the consistency, you know, having a consistent period of training without any major setbacks has kind of just allowed me to progressively get better as time goes on.
Well, Katelyn, you've certainly been the definition of consistency recently. Unbeaten so far. You pulled away from CHMIEL late. How about Samantha Bush's run at the very end to win the team title for you guys?
Oh, we won? I didn't know that. That's great. Yeah, Sam really pushed through past a bunch of people in the last K, I think. And then Brooke RAUBER, our redshirt freshman, had an amazing race to score for us. So I think, you know, the people that didn't have the best days, others stepped up for them. And I think that's what's so great about our team is that we just have like so much depth that like if someone has an off day, then someone else can pick up the slack for them. So yeah, super proud of my teammates for pulling through today at the championships.
Katelyn, I want to talk about the team aspect of this sport for what you have been able to accomplish individually and as a team. Last year at the NCAAs, North Carolina State wins the program's first championship, but it wasn't an easy day. You took a fall early in that race, and you talked about the surreal feeling it was to win the team title. So now as you look to defend the title, what's the approach for round 2 for you and the rest of the Wolfpack?
Yeah, I think nothing really changes from last year. Our coaches always say that we're not defending titles, so we're kind of just going into it with the mentality that it's just another championship. So yeah, some similar mindset as last year. Obviously, there is that pressure just because of rankings and stuff, but we try not to focus on it and try to just focusing on like executing on the day of the championships.
Well, your execution has been flawless so far. Enjoy the moment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The top-ranked team in the land does it again. NC State, their 7th consecutive team title. Katelyn TUOHY, your individual